Welcome back to the Man Cave Workshop. Okay, moving on with this Defiant radio. So we got it out of its case. We've cleaned it up a bit so it's workable. I took this big valve out so it doesn't get damaged while we work on the set. So I'll just put that somewhere safe. Whew, it's warm. It's the car's been registering 35 degrees in the UK, so that's pretty hot. So all the windows are open. If you can hear any background noise, I apologise in advance. You might see some glare off the screen as well. Now, what happened was David Tipton got in touch, which was very nice of him, and he sent me some information on the radio. Well, he actually said it was his friend John that sent it, and as you can see, it's the full sort of schematic and manual for models MSH 449, 459 and 649. So it's not the exact same model, but when I've looked through it, it looks pretty much the same. I mean, the layout looks very similar. The top looks very similar, almost identical. So we've got something to go off now. We've got a lot of information here about the set and the schematic, which I haven't saved quite right, have I? I've got half of it over here. I don't know if you can see this. I've got half of it over here, and then I have to scroll down this end to get the other bit, but we'll work with that. So thank you very much, David and John. Much appreciated. Will be very handy for working on this radio. So let's get this radio turned over. As we know from the last video, we dismantled the case, got the chassis out of the case, and all I've done is cleaned it up a bit. It was very mucky. I'm going to get the blocks on the back of it and tip it up to support it. Can we do that in shot? See that? It's a bit dark, isn't it? Let's see if I can get a light over so you can perhaps see it better. Means that I can't see it very well. Let's move in a bit as well. That's better, isn't it? So today in this video, what we're going to do, thank you very much for all the comments. I've been reading through them all. Some really good advice there that I'm gonna take heed of and try to do our best to get this radio working, because all it does at the moment is hum. Now, there was mention about the it not having an aerial. Now, John, who has brought this radio in, has told me, a lot of Johns, isn't there, has told me that he doesn't want an aerial fitting. I don't know if you can hear that. Somebody's having fun on a motorbike somewhere. It sounds really loud. And the aerial coils are down here, and he was saying that with the shortwave, you know, they'll put a long wave on it, which you might have a go at. But for now, all these waxes, we're going to get out and get them changed. I think these, I've only just briefly had a look at the information that David Tipton sent, but I think these are the filter caps, looking at them over here. I might be wrong. The idea now is to get all these caps changed that are obviously bad, and see if we get some noise out of it. So I shall warm the soldering iron up and we shall get on. Already at my first hurdle, I bought an assortment of caps because, as you know, I left everything. And this is how they come. They come in bags like this. And when you go to have a look at the cap, there is markings on them, but I know they're all 630 volts, but I really haven't a clue what values they are. So what I'm going to have to do is get the capacitance meter out and measure them before we put them in. And I think what I might do is get a Sharpie and write the values on, so in future if anybody comes to replace them again, oh, the camera's, I've pulled it out of its cradle. If anybody comes to replace them again, then they will have the values written on. Okay. Stop camera, stop. First of all, let's have a go at these, what I suspect, and I've just had a look at the schematic, are the smoothing caps up here. Let's have a go at getting them on. They've got clamps around them, so if we turn, without disturbing everything, turn the radio up again, we should, well, you can actually see them here. So, oh, this is string, by the way. I'm going to have to do something about that. So let's undo the screws there and see if we can get them filter caps out. Okay. Should I film all this, or should I just oh gosh, that doesn't want to come. Should I just get on with the recap? I'll film some of it and then I'll crack on. And like I say, it's going to be a bit laborious because I don't know the values of them non-polarized caps I've got. If I say things wrong, don't forget I don't edit my videos, it's pretty much how it is. What you see is what I'm actually doing, nothing's edited at all. I do pause the camera. Oh, I've took the wrong screw out there, didn't we? It ain't that one there. See what I've done, I just took the wrong screw out there. So that's this one obviously holds that cap in. I should have spotted that. That can is held in by that screw. I also try to work out, now I've got the schematic, I can have a look at it and see what cap does what. And it's pretty good because it shows you where they all are. There are slight differences. I think what I think are the filter caps, which I imagine will be electrolytics, on the diagram are somewhere over there in the radio. So let's see if we can't get these out. Should we just snip them out? Oh, that really doesn't want to come out. It's got lots of wires connected to it. Okay, yeah, it's filthy as well. Look at this. I think I'm going to have to pause so I can get my head in there and have a look which side goes to ground on these caps and which side's live before we pull them out. We'll have a look on the schematics, see what value they are. We'll just cut this one out first. Just be ruthless, cut it out. It's going to be bad anyway, isn't it? So it connects to those two wires there. Let's just cut it out. There we go, and we can have a look at it. What I will do, so I don't forget, is just pop a clip. See what I'm doing? Just pop a clip over there and a clip to this wire, and then it's just a test lead, and then we know where it went, and looking at the direction it went, this bracket was down. So we'll put, should we put a mark at it? Right, let's have a look at this cap. It might have a crimp inside here. Let's see what's inside here. Oh yeah, it's got a crimp. That's good. So we know that it's the same direction as the cap that's left in. It's probably the same value. Let's see if we can read it. Okay, let's let me get a what they call magnifying glass on it, and so I can read what it is. Okay. So I'm just looking at the schematic, and I think these guys are C15 and 16. They're in a different position on this diagram, but it's not the exact same radio, so we don't want that. So looking at this diagram, I think these guys, and I think they are smoothing caps, are C15 and 16. They're in a different position on this diagram, but it isn't the same radio. So if we look at this chart here, and of course they're not on there, let's have a look at the schematic. So is it this end or the... yeah. If we look down here, I think we've got C15 15 and 16, and they are 16 UF. So if we put this on the meter, the one we've pulled out, because all it says is, I think it says BEC, it's very hard to read, 350 volts. Let's put this on the meter and see. I've just switched the meter on. Let's see what it measures. If it's around 16, I think we're in luck. And it's 14.9.8. So I think we can safely change this for a 16 UF 350 volts. I don't know if I've got any electrolytic that high. Let me have a look at the stock. Right, okay, so doing transistor radios, I ain't got nothing that high a voltage in my electrolytic stock. So I'm going to have to order some of them. So we need 2 of them. Them are on order. I'm going to have to go through this schematic and see what else electrolytic wise I need. So for the time being, we'll work on these waxy caps because we have got these in stock. That's the way it is.